Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be reviewing Reminiscence. Reminiscence is a thriller, I guess sci-fi thriller, you could call it. But basically it stars Hugh Jackman as well as Rebecca Ferguson. Both previously worked together in The Greatest Showman. And yeah, in general rule of thumb, the movie is set in the future. I guess the ocean levels have risen. Miami is where it's set, and Miami is kind of like underwater, a lot of it. They've got dams in place. It's all about rich, poor, you know, that type of thing. The rich obviously are like way away from the water, and the poor people obviously are struggling with that. But people are because it's kind of set in the future, obviously technology's evolved, and Hugh Jackman's character is basically a reminiscence expert, and people love just reminiscing about the past. There was a war of some sort, and you know, people like to go into this like little it reminded me of like Assassin's Creed, like the Animus. You'd like lie there with a helmet thing on in a little bit of water, and you basically reminisce, and you go back and you can replay your memories. So if you've lost somebody maybe in the war, you could just relive those memories with those people. And for me, this review's not going to be as structured as my other ones are in terms of what I like, what I dislike, and then the rating. It's just, right from the bat, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. And that really upset me, really, because I really looked forward to this film. Like, the trailer made it out to look and be a lot better than I thought it would be. And there was a few bits in there which I thought were really done really well. Let's cover them off right away. And I think the sets were amazing, because like I said, some bits were underwater, so they'd have to build like a room, and then there would be water in there. And there was one scene where they would go through like the floor, and then I guess into the floor below, which was then all underwater. So obviously they would have had to build like the sets, then fill them up in like, or build them in pools, I guess, then fill them up with water, and then act in that. And I guess with the physics and that, to be able to figure all that out, I thought was really ingenious, to be honest with you, and quite underrated, because I don't think they did enough scenes in there. I bet it cost a lot more of the budget to do those scenes than, you know, than anything else. So that was really good. I also really liked Hugh Jackman's performance. I thought it was quite rounded, quite well done, and he stepped into the role really well. And there was an element of mystery in the film which I really enjoyed as well, and his performance definitely like excelled that, you know. I think where I'm struggling with the entire film though is the fact that it's a weak plot. You know, it was much weaker than I actually first anticipated. There's a lot of like, I guess, gaps in there that I didn't really just think, oh. A lot of it just feels to be, doesn't really feel like a high quality film. It just doesn't even feel like a TV movie. It almost feels like an advert, like for like a car or something. You know what I mean? Like the actual look of the film. It's quite weird to explain, but there's so much going on. There's a lot of subplots. There's a lot of I guess the main plot itself is just one thing, but it's really, I guess, hard to follow in some aspects. There is a good bit of foreshadowing in there, but when you sit back and you look at the foreshadowing, you don't want that foreshadowing to be too obvious, and that's the problem with the film. For me, it was way too obvious with how it was going to end. So you kind of knew how it was going to end like an hour in. You just, yeah, I don't trust her, you know, just that was it, you know, straight away. I didn't trust her straight away. It wasn't like, oh, you had no reason to trust her. I always portrayed across to myself anyway, is that, you know, she's not to be trusted, definitely. So it was disappointing, you know, and I thought that the whole thing, I felt like, had potential. In hindsight, it's one of those films that probably would have been better as like a series, because as I said, there was a lot of like subplots going on, and I think if you had one of those like subplots to be like an episode going into another episode to make up the bigger thing, it may have been better as like a 6-part mini-series, 8-part mini-series or something on like HBO, etc., rather than like a film. It just felt a bit like that, you know. It felt like it would have been better in that format than this format, and you know, it's really disappointing, because like from the trailer I really look forward to it, and I was really looking forward to seeing the film, and I thought it's going to look great on the TV. Like, it's a dark film, so I'm sure it's going to look good on OLED, but it's not going to be one I'm going to want to pick up, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I saw it, you know, I'm glad I'm able to do this review, but it's just one of them that just fell short. So there it is, guys. There is my review of Reminiscence. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know if you've seen it down below. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.